Why do you keep speculating in a space like this? Written scams and ruggers and things. Damn me, you be getting liquidated by pretend inefficiency and them useless tokens like this. Why did you quit so that and they give you your bags and shout at the somebody? Shout till it's just a lie, it's just a real call. I can do say how I need. Deep in your eyes, embrace the light. Come, let's hang around under the light. I'll have it to you. Embrace the light. Finish on my way. Salute the light.
Hey, embrace the light, motherfucker. Welcome back to the Autism Tour. Oh my God. Welcome back to the Light Hour live stream. I am your host, Raphael. The Light Hour live stream is a Litecoin dedicated live stream that we host on the Flipping Finance page every Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, 5 p.m. EST. So if you're a Litecoin supporter or you're someone who's just mildly interested in Litecoin related topics, then this is definitely where you need to be in order to keep yourself updated and in order for you to follow the Litecoin conversation. So today we have very interesting things that we're going to be talking about. Okay, we're going to be comparing LTC silver to XRP silver. So I've been paying attention to the ratios, especially LTC against the metals, and that's what we've been doing for a few streams now. And so today I saw something that is actually very interesting. You know, we have to look at this. It's something I felt like, you know, it needed sharing. So we're definitely going to be diving into that in a bit. But before I begin, I just want to say that yeah, this stream, we're going to have a few parts to it. So the first part, what we're going to do simply is, you know, there's some news, some really nice news I just like us to discuss. And of course, we're going to check out some stuff about Litecoin before we go into the ratios. So we're going to do that. And at the end of the stream, you know, the Litecoin official handle has been cracking a lot of jokes recently. It's a whole vibe in the Litecoin official page. So of course we're gonna be going there and we're just gonna be having fun and vibing and laughing to, you know, some of these jokes and also looking at what people are talking about Litecoin. So if you're watching this YouTube, definitely give us a like and sub to the channel so you do not miss any episode of the Light Hour live stream. Again, remember, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, 5 p.m. EST. So I also want to say that if you are watching us from X, then you need to go and follow our X page because it is extremely important that you follow us on X. And I'm just going to pull that up to the screen right now so you can see our X page and you can follow. And that is it that I'm bringing up in 1, 2, pow. There you go. That is the X page. Flipping Finance. That is it. You just go ahead and give us a nice follow. So, because we talk about a lot of things, mostly Litecoin, right? We engage in the Litecoin conversation there. So, you know, it's oh, I see a comment from Master. Yo, Master, shout out to Master, bro. Welcome to the live stream, bro. Much love. Shout out to you, man. Yeah, Litecoin is ready to break out. Litecoin looks ready for everything, actually. Something we're going to be going into in a bit. But yeah, like I was saying, you guys go follow the page. If you're if you're joining us from YouTube, then you definitely need to go sub to the X page. You know, talk about Litecoin all the time. So that's type of stuff you want to see. You want to also, you know, keep engaged in the Litecoin conversation. It's definitely where you have to be. Okay, you got to go follow the page. So today I'm gonna start this live stream by talking about something that I found very important, and I don't know if you guys have noticed, but yeah, I've reverted back to our standard setup. So I did something over the past 2 streams, which was I tried to change the format. So I tried using OBS to stream so that I could add more features, such as, you know, we had the rolling text under and, you know, the live price feed and all of those stuff. But unfortunately, it ended up making those streams extremely buggy. I mean, extremely buggy, just because my PC couldn't carry. So we've gone back to the existing format, so this stuff could be watchable. And so in case you're wondering, why are we back to the old format? Well, That is it. So yeah, let's go straight to what we're supposed to talk about, what we want to discuss. So this is one that actually caught my eye. Saudi Arabia discovers 7.8 million ounces of gold across 4 sites. Guys, can you believe that? 7.8 million ounces of gold discovered by Saudi Arabia. And that is why Litecoin is extremely important, right? Because Litecoin, you can't have Saudi discoveries like this. I used to say, because I have conversations with people a lot, and a lot of these people are, metal bros, right? People that are commodity bros. Let's just put it like that. Gold bugs, silver bugs. A lot of times people treat it as either or. So like you're either in the crypto or in the metals. Shout out to Peter Schiff, going this gold anti-Bitcoin rampage or whatever. But I just believe personally, right, that if you're betting entirely on gold, then you're betting entirely, or if you're betting entirely on physical metals, right, precious metals, then you're betting entirely against human ingenuity. Because again, these things, I mean, of course, they are relatively scarce on Earth, but they're also susceptible to sudden discoveries of deposits. I mean, if you just go back to when diamonds also used to be very, very expensive. I mean, they still are, but when they were actually truly scarce, back when they could only be found in the riverbanks, until the bears finally discovered, we finally discovered there's a lot in South Africa, and then there had to be this whole propaganda stuff that went into it in order to preserve its artificial scarcity by the bears and all of that. And you can just consider that and think about how metals actually run those risks of us discovering unknown depositories where there's just a significant amount of the supplies. Because this 7.8 million ounces of gold at current rates we're talking about like $35 billion worth of gold that was just discovered by the Saudi government, which is something that is actually why hard money in form of like cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Litecoin, particularly Litecoin and Bitcoin, right? The ones that have a predictable issuance schedule, right, that actually go through the halving and all of that, are actually superior to these metals in terms of scarcity, because you're absolutely certain about the issuance schedule. You know exactly when these things are scarce and when they are not. But there are a lot of risks that you run when it comes to metals, right? What if, right? We know that there are lots of asteroids in the asteroid belts that are holding vast gold depositories, right? There are asteroids that are holding quadrillion dollars worth of gold, right? And of course, if we find a way to mine these asteroids, it's definitely not going to be quadrillion dollars worth of gold. It's just going to crash the value of gold. And that's why I have the personal opinion that 100% bet in precious metals is just 100% bet against human ingenuity. And just makes sense to always balance it out between metals and of course scarce proof of work money tree networks, right? Scarce proof of work monies like Bitcoin and Litecoin. So I thought that was interesting. I thought I had to point that out because I definitely caught my eye. So into Litecoin news, right? So there was a very nice Litecoin update that we got earlier today, which is this: most influential events in the last 24 hours. And this is from Coin Market Cow, which they are #1 crypto calendar. So people are paying attention to this catalyst. And 9.3 out of 10, that is LTC. People are, paying attention to the halving event that is definitely going to be happening, or highly likely to be happening on 30th of July 2027 or earlier, of course. So like estimated to be taking place on 30th of July. So it's something a lot of people are paying attention to, which is actually interesting. I mean, good old Litecoin is finally, gaining mind share in a way, like never seen before, in a way like never seen since I believe 2017. Because like 2021, there was definitely not as much mind share as a share percentage of the way people were perceiving or things that people were talking about in the space. Litecoin just hasn't had this much mind share before. So this is very, big news. And I spoke about this very briefly. I was like, you know what? I think it's going to be very nice if, because of this, we just happen to get Litecoin break all-time high and a halving year, right? We saw Bitcoin do the exact same thing. So it's definitely something that is not out of the question. Bitcoin broke its all-time high in 2023 in its halving year, which I think was the first indicator that the Fourier cycle theory was dead, but also something that happened. So of course, like if Litecoin does it in 2027, prophetic in it. But yeah, so that's actually very interesting. A lot of people are paying attention to the halving. So yeah, we get it. It's freaking cool. Let's go. So now we are going to be going into the ratios. We're definitely going to be going into the topic of today, which is, of course, LTC versus XRP, LTC versus Silver against, XRP versus Silver. We're comparing the two. We're looking at them because there are interesting patterns that I saw that I felt like deserve discussing. But we're going to start by looking at Litecoin's chart, LTC USD. Again, this chart, we still haven't done anything. You can see just at the barest bottom of this. It's so strange that the entire market quite literally went up or stalled, either went up or stalled, while we Litecoiners, we essentially just went down. Like we just went down. Litecoin somehow went down, and I thought that was strange. Okay, so it's turning back into a positive candle. Look at that, 78. Holy baloney, where'd that come from? Is that, I don't know if that's driven by Bitcoin. Is that driven by Bitcoin? If that's driven by pumping Bitcoin, that's actually interesting, but I didn't see that coming. But you can see this little wick here. I think I have to just zoom that into the 4 hourly so you can see what I'm talking about. Yeah, we definitely started the day very poorly, right? So this was 1 a.m., which was definitely the daily open for me, and we crashed all the way here whilst the rest of the market was going up. But we seem to be on a nice recovery. But yeah, just happened to be, we still did not break this very long-term bullish consolidation channel that I've been paying attention to for a very long time. This has essentially been the bread and butter of this channel. It's been our main talking point, essentially. And it is just this channel of accumulative interest that Litecoin has been in, and we're just at the absolute bottom of that. We're tapping that. So what happens after here, I don't know. But I think if posterity is anything, we're definitely going to be testing this top range in a bit. But I do believe that there is a possibility that Litecoin might just be ready, not just to go tap on that again, but to just blast above it. And it's not just the fact that we've seen other, proof of work alternatives to Bitcoin, such as Monero, such as Zcash, and all of these. We've seen them explode, and all that. Litecoin is definitely to follow through. No, it's not about that. It's not a logical expectation or something of that sort. It's just based on what we're seeing, what the TA is showing us. So we're definitely going to be checking some of these ratios, right? Like I said, besides the LTC Silver ratio, we're still going to be checking LTC BTC, and why I believe that a leg up might be very imminent. And if we see that leg up, there's a possibility that might actually be what sends us above all-time highs. Not financial advice, but it's just a possibility. So we're going to be diving into that in a little bit. But yeah, so let's go into LTC Silver, and this is actually one that is very interesting. Now, if you're new to this channel, if you're new to hearing this conversation or whatever, then I just have to refresh you on what I've been talking about over the past few weeks. So I've essentially been making the case that this LTC Silver pairing has been our predicament for why we haven't been able to break out when it comes to LTC USD. So you see, we've been very bullish against USD for a very long time, but we never seem to find our breakout, right? So we had the first attempt May of 2023, and we brutally rejected that. We barely tried to get all the way to the top of this cumulative range of interest. April 2024, we crashed, and then we had two failed breakout attempts, beginning of 2025. And essentially, we've just not been able to escape this channel of accumulative interest. And I've just been making the case that this has been the reason, LTC silver. And if you actually plot LTC gold, it's been the same thing. We have just been going on this, we've been following this descending triangle, we've been making lower highs progressively against silver, compared to what we've been doing against USD, which is this. You can see this descending triangle against silver, lower high, lower high, lower highs. And we finally broke this down. So essentially what we've been seeing with Litecoin's price action has just been, in my opinion, a factor of this. And one of the strangest thing, right, that has happened, that has actually caught my attention even more, is the fact that LTC silver has had this breakdown. And you can see this breakdown in LTC silver essentially started 17th of November 2025. So 17th of November 2025. So we got to look at that. When is that? 17th of November 2025 was here. And it's just coincided with Litecoin going down a bit. And we have to so I want to look at that when it comes to percentage reduction that we experienced. So I can calculate that. So that has been so that's at 17th of November. So that has been about a 30% drop that LTC has experienced against USD. But against silver, that has been, let's calculate that. So yeah, it's been a 61%, 62% drop against silver. And essentially, it, obviously has been as a result of silver going parabolic, but what a coincidence, right? What a coincidence. Just what an absolute coincidence that it just happened to be around then. And it just happens to be the fact that we are kind of, exhausting this downward trend for LTC, towards the bottom of this channel of accumulative interest. What a coincidence. So yeah, we're going to be looking at LTC silver against XRP silver, because I don't want to go into talking more about this LTC silver on its own. So there's a formation that XRP silver did previously that it broke out of, and then I want to pull that up now. So this is a XRP against silver. I did plot something on this chart. Where is it? Okay, I think I have to refresh. I have to reload that. So now I have to do this again and essentially just get the whole ratios from the beginning. Yeah. Nope, not Coinbase. Give me crypto, bro. Crypto. Yep. So essentially this is what XRP did against silver. It made this panic, although it's on triangle formation against silver was definitely not as smooth as Litecoin's triangle formation against silver. What's interesting to me is the fact that XRP actually ended up okay, I have to share it. So this is it here. So what's curious to me is the fact that XRP ended up breaking up against silver, and you can see that you can see the move, how very decisive that move was against silver, and it's sort of like been falling. I don't know what this new formation it's getting into is, but you can see that it went all the way up to the point where it actually got so close to the top of this, the beginning of this formation, right? Which I could just see if I could adjust that a bit. Okay, yeah, that's perfect. And so we got to close to the top range of this formation for XRP against silver. But conversely, LTC ended up breaking down. We've broken down against silver, and we are now in this position where we still haven't found the bottom, and this doesn't look like we're finding the bottom anytime soon, which makes me believe that it's one of two scenarios, right? For LTC, if we end up, because like you see, XRP did this pump against silver, and it sort of like had to consolidate a bit, chop a bit, find a top before it's been bleeding against silver again. So there's a possibility that we find a bottom and start, of course, chopping before we start gaining against silver again. That's a possibility. It's not one that should be ignored. That's I have to be responsible to, of course, at least see that. But there's also a possibility, and this is a very off chance possibility, that we just blast from here. Now that is more of wishful thinking, but it's not illogical to think that that can happen if you look at the BTC ratios. But I'm going to get to that in a bit. So I just thought it was very interesting that almost the same information, albeit the fact that XRP did have this very ugly whatever this is against silver. I don't know what this ended up being, but you can see that the triangle generally held up, right? You can see multiple, the base of this support, right? You can see it acted as resistance multiple times in 2017. So this is resistance 1, resistance 2. This is like a spike 3, 4 before it blasted through and started coming back all the way here. And when it started getting here, it kind of like held it a little bit before flipping it to resistance, and blasted back in, still sort of like hugged it. And since then it's been acting like support, although Apologies for the break in transmission. We had a power cut, and so the Starlink went off. Nigeria, baby. Oh boy, that was so embarrassing. Oh, right in the middle of when I was talking. Imagine that. So I just have to get back to what I was talking about. Ooh, that was you could just imagine. I got so comfortable with these dudes, bro. Got so comfortable with them, and they did me dirty. They did me dirty, anyways. So yeah, like I was saying, what was I talking about? So yeah, essentially, it's been a curious formation. The fact that XRP has essentially bum, 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 bum. Holy. Okay. Yep, we had that. That was banging loud, like so freaking loud. Okay. All right, my tests. Everything is working. Okay. So, yes. Dun, 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 dun. So yes, what was I talking about? Yeah, so XRP US XRP against silver. Yeah. So it's a very interesting one. It's a very interesting thing to see. So my question right now is, is simple, right? That's what I'm currently considering. Do we see LTC explode upwards, all the way to this buy line, get closer to this, range top that it experienced in 2017, which would definitely look something like this. And I just have to switch to the LTC chart a little bit. So will we see LTC? Oh boy, I don't know if this is too loud. This might be too loud. It might be too loud. I don't know. There's no way I could have known. Oh boy. Anyways, so do we see LTC come all the way back? And that's essentially the question, right? So if we're seeing LTC, there's a possibility that LTC does something like this, and I've done this before on this stream, so I'm just gonna do it again. So just to be a speculation that we see something like this, which is essentially an engulfing move, and LTC kind of like finds its way back to the range highs and puts in an all-time high and gets to 4 digits, 4 figures. So is there a possibility that we see something like this happen and it ends up, becoming something similar to what XRP did? Because I don't know if I can liken this formation that is happening right now. So I don't know if I can liken this drop that we're experiencing in at this stage of the channel to something like what we saw with XRP here, where we sort of like dropped and then we had this violent push back into the channel. But we just saw that happen with Litecoin. It just happened towards the edge of the channel, and it just manifested as like a breakdown of the channel. Because again, I've said this before, and I'm still saying it again. It just doesn't, in my opinion, it just doesn't make sense why LTC should go down for very long against silver if they are being in fact actively traded against each other, because it just makes more sense that there's far more upside on the reverse side of the trade, which is the way I interpret it. And LTC is an asset that is still in its pre-valuation phase. I mean, we're talking about like a $5 billion asset compared to Silver, that's a $5 trillion asset. So you do the math, right? And then it's going to make sense. So do we see something like this happen and find our way into having this explosive run that XRP had against Silver? So this scenario, does it happen? Do we see it? It's left for us to see. So I'm going to open LTC BTC to see if there's something there for us to actually see. And actually, yes, there is in fact something to freaking see when it comes to LTC BTC. And I've been monitoring LTC BTC for a while now, just so you know that I've been monitoring LTC BTC. Essentially every stream I look at the ratios. And last stream I pointed something out when it comes to LTC BTC. I did something very interesting that was happening, and yep, this is it. This is my LTC BTC's chart that I've been looking at. So yep, this is what LTC has been doing historically against Bitcoin, tracked all the way back to 2013. So essentially, what I've noticed with this chart and what I brought people's attention to in last stream was the fact that we are kind of repeating this exact same thing that we've done multiple times before, which is LTC bleeds against Bitcoin, the downward momentum stops, and it explodes. So I'm going to switch it to the monthly so this pattern becomes much clearer. So we're back in the monthly, so you can see what I'm talking about here. One thing about LTC is that and again, I don't know if it's because like we have more people in this space that simply do not understand the way cryptocurrencies move, or because we have more people in this space that simply do not understand how fast these things can actually go and how violent these repricings can be. But a lot of people, they see the fact that LTC has struggled a bit when it comes to the USD pairing, and go, oh yeah, that's it, it's that, it's never going to come back again, it's never going to go up, it's it's never whatever, it's that is going to zero. And it's because like people don't understand how fast LTC recovers. But LTC BTC actually makes this clear, and you can see it. LTC experiences downturns for like very long periods and completely eats it all up with a few months candle, a few monthly candles, and that's it. Sometimes even one monthly candle. You can see this all the way back to 2013, back in 2013 when, Bitcoin, Litecoin dropped all the way back here against Bitcoin. 6 months, 1 month engulfing. Every single thing erased all of those losses. 1 month candle. And you can see this, I counted this last year, it was about 19 months of downturn, completely erased in about 2 months at its peak, because this is this ended up being a spike. At its peak, erased almost the entire downturn in about 2-3 months. 20 months of downturn erased in about 3 months. It's the same thing. Went all the way down here. This is about 18 or so months of downturn, again erased in about 3-4 months, very quickly. You can look at how violent that move was. And essentially what we've been trying to do, in my opinion, is we've been trying to break back above this, and that's, in my opinion, a level to watch. Last stream I did not bring up Zcash, because Zcash actually had a similar structure against Bitcoin. But this stream I'm actually going to bring up Zcash so we can actually like do our little comparisons. But as you see, the last time we came all the way back here, when we lost this level, essentially we just bled down, and all of the downturn was all of the momentum for the downturn essentially evaporated, and we had this blast, which was essentially a fake out, because it looked like we're gonna be blasting back into this, blasting back above this support and probably getting back into range. But it ended up being a dot, and essentially we just bled out again, because it just happened to coincide with the period when Bitcoin was getting its ETF, Ethereum was getting its ETF, Bitcoin was breaking all-time highs, but nothing was happening to Litecoin. Duh. And there was a lot more upside for Bitcoin to go against Litecoin. So obviously the ratios bled. And so we just kept grinding down. And this is how many months? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Essentially 22 months of a downturn that we had against Bitcoin. And since then, we have simply been repeating this again. Bleed, momentum, dries, pump. Bleed, pump, bleed, pump. But this time was bleed, momentum, dries, pump. Bleed, momentum is drying. And so there's a possibility that over the next few months, we will probably find a more suitable bottom and have a violent pump. So I'm gonna bring up Zcash, because like, why not, right? Let's bring up Zcash into the equation. So we look at BTC. Ooh, done. Oh, 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 oh. 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 So for Zeke Bitcoin, oh boy, this has actually been bleeding a long time. But essentially, when Zeke started pumping all the way, and I have a record of this, all the way back when Zeke was still here, right? When Zcash was just trying to get into this EMA, I was saying that a level, and that's when I drew this. I drew this months ago. I drew this level on Zcash many months ago. So I have to share the tab. Look at it. So I drew this level many months ago, and I made the case essentially that Zcash needed to get above that level. And when we get above, if it gets above that level, it's definitely going to be trading into the hundreds, probably get all the way up to like 700, 800. And back then Zcash was like $70, $80, getting close to $100. And we did it. We essentially did that. And you can see how, it kind of like used this, level. They kind of held this level for a bit before it started bleeding out against Bitcoin, and, just went on this violent repricing and, reclaimed that level. So the question is, what is that level for Litecoin? And that is what I've been trying to answer with this line here. This line is the same level for Litecoin, because that is definitely going to be taking us above this blue EMA ribbon. And we're probably going to start consolidating around there, which will give this EMA ribbon enough time and enough momentum to start reversing. And that reversal can happen over multiple years before allowing Litecoin to be able to enter into macro reversal against Bitcoin, which I believe is something that is worth looking forward to. So yeah, that's essentially what I've been making of this LTC BTC chart. And because of how imminent this looks, right, this reversal looks, so like I said, it could happen anytime. It could happen next month, it could happen in 6 months, and the ratios will still be fine. What a 6-month candle from here? 6-month candle from here would just be here. That's what 6 months worth of candles. Nothing's going to happen to the chart in 6 months. Matter of fact, it still has what? Matter of fact, it still has multiple, it still has much longer to actually stay. I mean, it has the levity of staying for up to a year before it starts sending reversal, essentially. And yeah, it's just one of those things you need to factor in, right? I'm not gonna stay here and be irresponsible and act like, yeah, positive only. I'm positive, but again, remember what's happening to LTC doesn't, it doesn't change Litecoin, right? The fact that all of the fundamental properties of Litecoin still remain what they are, but I believe that this is a very strong possibility, and it can happen any moment now. So LTC is ready. That's just the truth. It's ready, considering all of this is ready. It's ready to just absolutely flip and rip. And it shouldn't come as a surprise if it doesn't. I said that last stream, and I'm saying it again, it shouldn't come as a surprise if it doesn't. So, but in my opinion, the first pit stop will be around this yellow line of the EMA, and that is essentially 0.0022. That's definitely going to be the first pit stop. I mean, it just somehow coincides with the last place that we sort of like found support last time. And that's probably somewhere we're going to grind for a bit before we take the second leg that will reclaim this level for us. And it is when we reclaim this level against Bitcoin that I believe that we can start talking about like a macro reversal and start talking about Litecoin climbing up these ratios, probably over the next decade. Who knows? We could talk about astronomical target. We could talk about one Litecoin to 4 Bitcoin or something like that. All of those things. You know that. So because of how ready LTC BTC is, it makes me believe that LTC Silver can in fact perform this miracle that I have drawn here. However, the chances of that happening is extremely unlikely, and that is just me dubiously speculating. So of course, take that with a grain of salt. A grain of salt. That is what you should take it with. So even though, right, like, something to also consider is the fact that LTC BTC, just as much as it actually justifies violent reversal, it also, like I said, again, this can take much longer before, find, form a proper bottom before it starts reversing. So probably like 6 months or even longer. And that would just happen to, and let me show that, sorry, real quick. So yeah, the LTC BTC can take a few months to find its bottom. And that will just coincide, in my opinion, with LTC trying to find a bottom here against silver, trying to finish up this move, just consolidate for a bit before trying to break back into this. So yeah, that's what I'm making of all of this, and it's just something I felt like was very interesting and very important that I shared with you guys. So I'm gonna continue to track this. I'm gonna continue to track the ratios, right? I'm gonna continue to track LTC Silver. I've been doing that over the past like few weeks now. That has essentially been the emote of this channel. That has actually been what we've been talking about. That has been our point of conversation. We've been tracking the ratios because, again, like I continue to say, the ratios, in my opinion, would give us the direction of Litecoin, especially the ratios against commodities like silver, the ratios against metals. I feel like that is what hides the true intention of LTC, and so we shouldn't fade it at all, right? LTC silver, LTC gold, LTC silver, and LTC gold are essentially the exact same chart. I'm gonna pull LTC gold so y'all can see what I'm talking about. It's essentially the same chart. I like using this TVC gold chart because like it has more, depth, and it has a much longer price history. Okay, that means I have to entirely refresh this page. Yes, I have refreshed it, and now it's back to LTC USD. Look at that. We're pumping. Hey, we're finally having a little reversal today. We're looking positive today. Hey, yay, celebrate. Anyways, LTC gold essentially. So where's that? Bank. Essentially the same thing as LTC silver, just more muted. So yeah, these have been the reason why we've stalled. It's not really been LTC BTC in my opinion. Look at LTC BTC. Besides, when we started going down after I mean, yeah, Bitcoin actually had its its ETF run and all of that, so that definitely hindered LTC. But beyond that, I don't think this is really mattered all that much in my opinion, as because there's no real pattern to look at here. There's no real formation. It's just been going down. That's all it's been doing, and it just looks like people look at this LTC BTC and make their conclusions when in reality, the real kicker, right? The real thing we should be looking at all this while was just LTC against the metals, because there's actually a reason for LTC to struggle when you look at the metals, but there's just no reason for LTC to struggle when you look at it against Bitcoin. That's why Bitcoin maximalists, they just keep using it as a talking point, because like it's not like, oh, this is like it's breaking down against it. No, it's just going down against Bitcoin. So that's why I believe this looking at the metals, looking at LTC against the metals, very crucial, very important, something that we should definitely be tracking, something we should definitely be following up, so that we're going to be able to know what's happening with Litecoin, and we're going to be able to monitor the situation. But yeah, essentially that's what I said I should share. So XRP silver, I don't know what's going to happen to XRP silver at this point, because this looks very bad. It's probably going to spike up, considering how this is sort of like gone down in a curve. It's probably going to like spike up. I doubt it's going to come all the way back here and just drop. So I think it just spikes all the way up. And if that would coincide with a general market reversal, then in my opinion, that even makes more of a case for why LTC should just go ahead and do the same thing, right? Just go ahead and spike, just go ahead and blast against gold, go ahead and blast against silver. It's just going to make sense for LTC to do that. But yeah, that's it on the ratios. I guess we're gonna continue to monitor these ratios, and I'm gonna continue to update you guys as these things unfold. I never expected that LTC will get this down against silver. I never expected LTC to drop below 1 troy ounce of silver per LTC. But yay, kind of that's where we found ourselves. So can't really complain, can we? I have to reload this. I don't like the fact that I always have to reload this every time. Every time I have to reload it. Yeah, boy. Yo, this still cracks me up till today. This my formation thingy. This my 2 scenario thingy. Optimistic and pessimistic scenario. Let's see. We're just gonna have it, right? Are we just gonna chop before we reverse, or are we gonna have the violent reversal? And by the way, something very interesting is like it looks like we have a gap in this LTC silver. This looks like a gap or something, but if there's a wick there, okay, there's a wick there, so it's not a gap. All right, cool. But let's see. I'm very optimistic we might get the blue scenario and we might just blast off. Maybe we don't go all the way up like that so quick, but yeah, I'm not gonna be shocked. Oh my god, I wasn't showing it. Jesus. So yeah, this is essentially what I was talking about here. So let's like, I mean, do we get scenario A? Do we get scenario B? Who knows? But the way things are setting up, I'm not gonna be surprised if we get scenario A. I believe what's just left to be seen, in my opinion, is whether when we go up, we end up just getting all the way to the range highs or somewhere closer to the range highs, like XRP did, which will put us at about let me use this stuff, about 11 LTC, 11 silver per LTC, which is gonna be about 1,000. you know, if we do what XRP did and just spike all the way above this previous range high and just, let's say, get close to this, there's definitely gonna be taking us all the way here, let's say. So let's say somewhere between 11 and 13 silver per LTC. So if silver prices stay above 100, that's definitely going to be like a much higher LTC target. So let's say like 1,300, 1,700, somewhere about, depending on how high silver goes and how long it stays that high. But ultimately, I just think, you never know. You never can tell, right? You never can tell how high it's gonna go. I actually wanted to go a lot more than 1,000 or even 2,000. I wanted to go very, very high and just like change the entire conversation, because that's what I'm about. That's the whole, like, that's the whole point of me being here, is like what I'm most optimistic about. Like what I'm looking forward to the most is just watching this whole crypto conversation change. I want to see change. I want to see the Bitcoin story. I just want to see the Bitcoin story get flipped on its head, and the Bitcoin narrative get challenged by LTC, essentially. So yeah, I believe that's all I want to talk about when it comes to the ratios. So let's just go ahead and look at let's go ahead and just vibe. Hold on, wait a second. So I'm gonna share this tab instead. Hold on. So I'm gonna look at let's look at if we have any updates, and let's look at what people's let's look at what people are talking about when it comes to Litecoin. Litecoin. If you're just joining this stream right now, I am Raphael, and this is the Lite Hour live stream. The Lite Hour live stream is a Litecoin dedicated live stream that we host every Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays on the Flipping Finance page. So if you're someone that is even remotely interested in Litecoin, or you're a full-blown fan, then you definitely need to subscribe to the channel. And when you subscribe to the channel, of course, that you're going to be following the conversation. So go ahead and do that. Okay. Yeah. So right now we're going to be looking at Litecoin sentiment. That's the part of this stream that we are in now. We've talked about the news and, the stuff that I wanted to share. We've looked at the ratios, right? LTC silver, XRP silver, LTC BTC. That we've done the comparisons, and now we're just looking at what's going on, what's up, and what's happening. So, oh my God, this is funny. Okay, I've liked it before. I've seen this before. Current POV, alien spaceship, bro. Litecoin intern Bill wilding, bro. What the flip? Eventually, you stop chasing short-lived narrative and start respecting durability. This comes with experience, LTC, bro. On the dollar, on the freaking dollar. That's what LTC is about, bro. Like LTC is LTC is all about like getting away from the hype cycles and just getting mature with your crypto journey. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. But like the thinking Litecoin, marking Litecoin, learning Litecoin. Oh shit! Yeah, this is from the main Litecoin handle though. Like this is why you need to follow the main Litecoin handle. Like Litecoin be delivering us like some really funny memes, and Litecoin is okay. Litecoin is infrastructure, nice. Monday mood. Monday mood. Oh, this has to be the ousted Venezuela dictator Maduro. But why is he always dripped out? Like every photo I see of this dude is always dripped out. Like is always wearing some stuff. Bro, look at that. Look at that cigarette in the hand, bro. This is cold, bro. This photo is cold, bro. It's like it looks like some cartel type ish. That's cold. It's Hey Grok, explain Litecoin to someone who's heard of it but hasn't kept up with what's new. Oh, I'm curious to see what Grok says. Hold on. Yo, where's Grok? Yo, Grok didn't respond. The flip. Yo, Elon Musk. The f- the fuck. Wait. What the hell? Oh my God! No way. Grok did not respond to the Litecoin handle. Why are we paying for premium subscription? Why? If Grok can't respond, holy, bro, nah. Here for the comments. Grok is busy putting. Yeah, like that's all Grok. No shit. Like that's all Grok is useful for nowadays. It's just put bikinis and stuff and take bikinis out of stuff. Grok is busy. But did you know see this post? Grok is Litecoin shadow man. Like, yeah, that's crazy though. Grok not responding. Why? Why would you do that? What the hell? Oh my God! No way. Oh boy. Anyways, we need to move. We need to move on. So I think I've seen something funny again. What is that? So apparently the new X algorithm knows when you're tweeting. What the fuck? Yo, hey, yo, this. Yeah, that is hilarious as hell. Wait, what? No, have you used Litecoin and Web? Hell yeah, that's it. Okay. What the fuck? Okay, I definitely did like this one. That's freaking cool. Changing it up, GN. Good luck with that one. Yo, the algo has been tough, bro. Like all of CT is literally dead. Like this is ghost towns. Like when I be doing these streams, I just be talking to nobody, and it's like it's so strange that like there's actually nobody in this space. Like there's quite literally nobody in this space because I don't get it. Like it's weird. It's very weird. Because like I remember back in 2021, it's like, bro, like GMs, she's like got like 100,000 GMs like every single fucking day. It's like when you go on X, you see like, God, I miss the good old like Bored Apes, freaking Yacht Club, whatever the hell those things were. The NFT days where the NFT bros were like everywhere. Like wherever you go is like 1,000 GM posts. Like, bro, crypto space CT felt like felt wow. The felt bubbly. There was an actual conversation going on every day. Like you can make a post and like just it just goes viral and you've got like 1 million impressions or something, which is definitely something that doesn't happen anymore nowadays. So yeah, that's actually messed up, honestly. And all of that is essentially Grok. Grok is now I said Grok. X has now absolutely destroyed the platform by completely ruining our algorithms. Like our algorithms has been destroyed. It's like, I get this joke. Fine, I'll save the cryptos. Yo, that's hilarious. 12,000 impressions go. Like, where is everybody in CT, bro? Like, where is everybody? Hey, Grok, let's turn this here. Oh yeah, I saw this one. I commented on this one. I think I think I quote tweeted it or something. I was like, yeah, so Grok could actually put a bikini on Litecoin, but couldn't give a simple Litecoin explanation. Like, what the hell, bro? What the hell? Just look at that. Oh, this is what oh boy. Damn. Nah, I wasn't supposed to see that. Not take my eyes away from that. I see no evil. I see nothing like that. But I gotta look at the retweets though. Let me see the retweets because I know I did retweet this. I quote tweeted it. I was like, damn, because like that response from Grok was actually funny. Look at that. I think I did it on my own page. Hold on, put it up. Dang. This hit the crowd. I just want to rock. Buddy, yaddy, I just want to buddy, yaddy, uh, uh, mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. I don't even know where that is. I did it. I did respond. Okay, that's that was it. That was the post there idea. Damn. Oh, anyways, yeah, joke, playing around the side. What's going on? What are people talking about Litecoin? What are people saying about Litecoin? I just need to do a little search. By the way, if you're still here, the stream is going to be ending in about 5 minutes. So just FYI, I want to check what people are saying about Litecoin. So this Litecoin out. I don't know if this is the Grok News feature thing. Litecoin futures open interest surges. Oh, Litecoin futures open interest surges 25% amid steady price. Litecoin's futures, open interest has been surging for quite a while, but nothing happens to the price. I've never seen that before. Open interest in Litecoin futures climbed sharply across exchanges like Binance, $133 million, Bybit, $88 million, OKX, $49 million, despite minimal price movements and positive funding rates showing longs paying shorts. The build-up coincides with privacy coin momentum as Monero rose 13% and Litecoin's MWeb upgrade positions it third amongst privacy assets by market cap. Analysts spot matching chart patterns with Monero from past cycles, while traders like Cozy, the caller, report 40% gains on leveraged longs, hinting at potential rallies if Bitcoin pushes higher. Oh, duh. LTC chart looks almost identical to XMR. Oh yeah, this. They actually do. They look very similar. It's actually very impressive how little people paid attention to this. But I just think just because a lot of people are paying attention to it now, it gets me nervous. Like sometimes when I see people paying attention to this chart, it's like, oh my god, don't. Because I don't think people are supposed to pre-position into these things. But essentially, yes, if we follow this curve, yeah, it's gonna be like 2028 since till we get the breakout. So that's or 2027 if it accelerates a bit, and that's gonna coincide with what I was pointing out earlier, which is essentially that there's a possibility that we get the breakout in 2027. I mean, if we find our way to bottom against silver for a little bit, and of course we just stall against LTC, the LTC BTC for a bit, for like a year or like a year and like 3 months or something, then we can get a very good breakout, and that can send us above all-time highs, and that would coincide with this, right? It will coincide with this very well. So it's actually very similar. They're just the exact same thing. You can see from the top, the consolidation, the double top, which is the 2021, everything is the same thing. So 2017 top, 2021 top took out the high, but did not really break it out substantially. Then this was a range of accumulative interest. One thing that I find very interesting is that you can see the accumulative bubble for XMR. This is not as large as that of LTC, which makes me believe that LTC actually would go much higher, and it's going to happen far more explosively, because that just makes sense. But I don't know, that's just me talking. What the F is happening with LTC? Did an algo just go bust out of nowhere with no meaningful price action? Open interest started skyrocketing on Binance, Bybit, and OKX. Almost 40% total OL added in past 24 hours. Yes, and it's just so crazy. It happened to coincide with with a crash, right? So this is a crash in the price, and it just happens to be around the same point where open interest started going up, on all of these exchanges. Open interest just started skyrocketing out of nowhere, and it just happened to be that price was crashing at the same time. The manipulation that's happening in LTC is just insane. It's ridiculous to see the the level of manipulation that's happening. It's ridiculous. I don't even know, bro. Out of nowhere. 40% total open interest added in the past 24 hours, and nothing's happening to the price. Let me look at the price. Let me pull that up a bit, see if something's actually happening. something's happening, at least in the micro level. Are we somewhere? No, we're still at 78. We haven't even reclaimed 80. I feel like there are a lot of people that want to trade Litecoin, trade Litecoin for this privacy narrative. I think that like there's a heavy appetite for people who want to do that. But essentially, I also believe that Litecoin, if Litecoin starts pumping because of it's not going to be because of the privacy narrative. I don't believe it needs any narrative to pump. Like it's going to happen. Like when the TA is right, when everything aligns, it's going to pump. So look at that. So I don't know. We're finally responding to this open interest, I believe, because we're starting to see that little bounce, and it's looking a bit promising. Probably gets above 80. This $83 probably reclaim that, and maybe we start exploding from there. Who knows? But yeah, essentially, yeah, it's a very strange stuff that always happens with Litecoin. I don't know why. So let's see, from higher for Litecoin. So this is Cozy. Cozy made 47% of an LTC long. Cool, that's cool. So this from Luxfolio Holdings. I like Luxfolio. It's becoming increasingly obvious what's setting up for Litecoin. We've already watched this exact same blah blah blah. Privacy coins by market cap 11.8 billion, Monero 6.7, Zcash and 5.8 billion Litecoin. That's interesting, actually. I don't think either of these coins have anything close to the level of potential that LTC has, just off of the mere fact that LTC already has access to institutional capital via ETFs, which is just access to unlimited liquidity whenever that liquidity is ready to shift. So whenever we see that shift in liquidity, this chart will just not make any sense, because you're going to have Litecoin about $130 billion and Monero is going to be like 20 something billion dollars. Don't get me wrong. I think Monero is great. I think Monero is going to pump. It's going to perform well long term. The story that they are telling makes sense. But I'm just saying, like, as a better trade, like what has much more better access to liquidity, in my opinion, has much more upside potential. Like Litecoin has not only the access to liquidity, but it also has the capacity to take this whole story mainstream. It has the capacity to be able to drive a mainstream story, to run with a mainstream narrative. So I don't think this chart even means anything. It's only going to be clear in hindsight when we're going to see Litecoin, backing it up 3 top 4 hundreds of billions of dollars of market cap. I believe a few coins are gonna definitely be in the hundreds of billions of market cap. We already have XRP and Ethereum. We're gonna have Litecoin. Litecoin is gonna be one of those. It's definitely gonna be either number 3 or number 4, but it's definitely gonna be breathing heavily behind XRP's back. So we're gonna have Ethereum, XRP. We're gonna have Litecoin. Probably we're gonna have a few other coins as well, but Zcash, in my opinion, will be nowhere close to where Litecoin will be, and neither will Monero. And it's not just me hating; it's just me stating the obvious, right? It's just they're not the same thing. They do not have access to the same capital pool. Zcash also doesn't have access to the same potential customers. Why Litecoin has access to so much potential customers that it can unlock, just off of the fact that you have millions, tens of millions of people who have used Litecoin and who have personal experiences with Litecoin that would be when they start seeing Litecoin exploding. Oh yeah, it's $1,000. Oh, it's $2,000. These are people that are going to be scrapping everywhere looking for their lost LTC wallets. These are people that are going to be checking price histories, look at when they transacted in Litecoin and whatnot, trying to grab some of that Litecoin. Zcash doesn't have that, right? But Monero, yeah, it's definitely going to be, it's going to succeed long term. So I'm not going to say anything about Monero. I'm just talking about should Litecoin trade, get ignited, then it definitely has it's definitely going to be, much higher than all the rest. I don't know why people aren't seeing it. Zcash is at I don't like seeing the whole Zcash, Litecoin, everything in a photo. I even get Monero, but not Zcash. Zcash is at a $6 billion valuation after going up 50x. This is its top in valuation. I mean, it still goes up from here. Definitely, probably goes all the way to 20 billion or something. But Litecoin getting to all-time highs is already 30 something billion at about $1,000. We're talking about 70 something billion. $100 billion market cap is, it's still gonna be like the move. If Litecoin is gonna be, if Litecoin gets its own 50x move, we're talking about hundreds of billions of dollars of market cap if it gets the same measured move Zcash got. So like it's not the same. I don't know why people keep doing that. Good night. LTC is evolving. Litecoin VM makes it unavoidable. No more trust in bridges with fake LTC. Lite VM ZK powered bridge via BTC OS keeps us. Yeah, Lite VM is so freaking cool. I'm very excited about Lite VM. I've been saying this for like forever. I'm very excited about Lite VM. I think it revolutionizes things. Litecoin and Monero overlaid. No brainer pumps. Oh yeah. This is a very good one from Mini Million. Yeah, it's definitely just gonna follow when the time is right. Yeah. So just in 77 for Litecoin. Oh boy. I'm a simple man. I see LTC below the 200 weekly MA. I buy. Yeah. Such an obvious buy, bro. Actually. Yeah, that's cool. I like Surf, man. I see Surf post. Oh, Jesus. We're 5 minutes beyond, past the time I said I was going to end this. Okay, I think I need to end this in a bit. But yeah, essentially, people are once again very G3. Everyone is trying to catch that sweet LTC trade and trying to trade it as the next privacy coin or whatever. But yeah, Litecoin is definitely gonna pump in due time. I very strongly believe. And until then, we're just gonna have to watch. We're gonna have to watch and see how all of that plays out. I'm very optimistic about it all, honestly. I've always been very optimistic about it all for the longest of time. And I've always said this, like what I'm in this for majorly is Litecoin changing the conversation. So we're definitely going to see that happen. I hope that what we see this time is not just like a pump to like 1,000, 2,000. This is going to be very demoralizing. Like I want to see something like a 4,000, I want us to get back into the top 3 and start breathing, breathing at Bitcoins. Like we start breathing heavily behind Bitcoin, so the Bitcoin maximalists can feel it. Like that's what gets me drunk about this whole Litecoin stuff. Like it's what gets me drunk about it. I just want to watch the absolute confidence in the minds of these Bitcoin maximalists collapse. I want to watch the absolute confidence of that is backing the absolute certainty. It's basically the same thing, right? The absolute confidence is backing the narratives they continue to perpetuate. I want to watch that get shaken by something that actually challenges it, in a serious way in the rankings. And so, I just want to see that happen. And that's really what I'm hoping to get from Litecoin. So like, we're going to see how that's all going to play out. Anyways, if you actually stayed in the stream all the way to this time, shout out to you. You're an absolute legend. As usual, I've been your host, Raphael, and this has been the Lite Hour live stream. Again, we host this every Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, 5 p.m. EST. So if Litecoin jets in, definitely know where to find it. Flipping Finance on YouTube and on X. You need to follow the page on X, and also you need to subscribe to the YouTube channel. And I will see you. I will see you in the next episode. All right, take care and bye-bye.